3 days ago, it seemed as though the war would escalate. It would just resume. And so what happened was that an American Apache helicopter was down in the Strait of Hormuz. By the way, there's confusion as to how it was down. There are some who speculate it was Israel. It's almost like the Gulf of Tonkin incident. So it's a false flag in order to escalate the war. And then the Americans went and bombed two reservoirs in Iran, and the Iranians struck back and attacked the GCC nations as well as Israel. But then yesterday, we're starting to see news that they're going to come to an agreement. And it's entirely possible by this weekend they'll come to they'll sign an MOU. And you know what? I honestly would not be surprised if they sign an MOU. I wouldn't be. It's just like it's just a repeat of Gaza, where they sign these peace treaties, but it's almost impossible to maintain. And the entire point of signing these peace treaties and then reneging on them is just to exhaust popular opinion. I mean, like, the war was escalating in a couple of days ago, and people just lost interest because they're just exhausted by all of this. People want to tune out, and I completely understand. I also want to tune out. A lot of these agreements, the Americans cannot possibly agree to. The main source of contention, the area in which they cannot possibly agree to, is the peace treaty expanding to include all the proxies, right? So there's peace between the United States and Iran. There also has to be peace in Lebanon and Gaza as well. And there's no way the Israelis would agree to such a thing, okay? So yeah, they might sign an MOU, but the MOU will not last. Glenn Deason tweeted out that U.S. attacked two water reservoirs in Iran. What this is important is that as time goes on, the nature of the war is going to change. Okay, so what the United States and Israel are going to do is start targeting critical civilian infrastructure, such as power plants, such as bridges, such as railways, such as water reservoirs. And the reason why is pure economics, where you're running out of munitions, you're running out of weapons, so you need a bigger bang for the buck. And that means targeting critical civilian infrastructure to inflict as much pain as possible on your opponent. If you insist on like blowing up mountains, you're going to lose this war really, really quickly. Okay. So as this war progresses, I assure you that the Americans will focus on targeting civilian infrastructure because, that you're trying to inflict as much pain as possible on the civilian population in order to force a political settlement.